Welcome back to the Pulse. Welcome back to the North American Star League, and we've got the votes. Everybody has spoken. We'll tell you what they are in just a sec. First, Lauren Lease. Well, actually, she's the pretty girl that's supposed to read the votes, so we'll just let her do it.
Okay, what was the most entertaining contest form to watch? You guys voted B.
You guys suck.
No, these guys know what they're talking about. They're the audience. They know what they like.
No, they don't know what
Steve Jobs said people don't know what they want until you give it to them.
That is a false statement, Clutch.
And then he made the iPod.
But that doesn't necessarily...
And he changed the world.
Exactly.
And then he died
that is a false statement, but people do not know what they want. I don't know what I want. Some best of ones are awesome.
I think people that have money know what they want for the most part.
More money?
Yeah.
More money, no problem.
They want to be entertained. Anyways.
You know, best of three, I just want to make a note because I'm a mathematician. Law of large number says, you know, it's going to be the best discriminator to have the most games to determine who's the better player. So, of course, I'm for best of infinity and seeing who wins.
No.
Not more than best of 7.
No, I'm for best of 99, but it's not practical, so I'm content with doing best of 5.
It's like boxing, man. One-on-one if it was one round.
Lauren, there was another cool question raised in chat. You want to field that one for us?
Yes, someone asked, when is the VOD for this episode of The Pulse going to be up? The answer is tomorrow. I have a question for you, though, Ben.
YouTube.com/NAStarLeague is where you can find it. What's up?
You're always so much better at that than me. Let me pull it up right here. I have it. It is, can you explain the trade agreement with GOM and Kespa?
Andre.
GOM and Kespa, the trade agreement, October of 2013. They made a statement saying that they would not trade between each other as long as the players are in contract. Now, where that's a little bit different with Parting is his contract is up.
It was up.
So he's able to go over to Kespa. But as it stands right now, let's say a player like MVP can't go over to Team 8 freely. They just can't do it. It's impossible.
Moving on, guys, to our next and actual final real topic of conversation. We'll have a little bit of freeform in our last little bit. But the last thing that I really want to talk about is the Team Liquid Legacy Star League. It was recently announced, actually recently started yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, was the first broadcast of the largest StarCraft II website's tournament. Brood War. Okay. Team Liquid is huge. Team Liquid is huge. It's a
big website,
StarCraft II website that
really
there is.
big.
They've been supporting
really
StarCraft II.
now,
They've been supporting Dota. They decided recently, why not host a Brood War tournament? Why not host a tournament for this, over a decade-old game? Some people were scratching their heads, saying, "Well, can that succeed? Will StarCraft II fans like it?" That's a great question. We'll talk about it in depth, but first we sat down with Team Liquid Director of Operations Matt Hayoka-Weber to get his take. This is what he had to say about the Legacy Star League. You guys recently announced the Team Liquid Legacy Star League. What is it and why now? Tell us about your timing.
Well, basically, you know, as the MSL and the OSL and Pro League stopped doing Brood War, we just kind of thought to ourselves that it would be nice to be involved again and do some Brood War stuff. It's not just one league, it's going to be a series of 4 tournaments. There's going to be 3 sort of smallish ones, and then one that's much bigger at the end of it. They each run about 3 months, so it's about a year. It'll take us to the very end of the year.
Let's talk about the StarCraft II community and how you think they're going to receive this thing. There are thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people out there who only know StarCraft II as their RTS or only know these later generation RTS games. How do you think these guys are going to receive the notion of a Brood War event? Do you think these guys are going to tune in and enjoy it? Do you think they're going to make fun of it? What's the consensus on the Team Liquid side?
I think the biggest hurdle is the very first hump in getting over Brood War is that it feels archaic when you first play it, and it's kind of difficult. But I think if people can get past that, they're going to really enjoy it, even if they don't have a lot of experience in it beforehand. And luckily with Team Liquid, we have so many resources to help people do that, like Wikipedia and the forums. And
I'm really eager to see how that gets received. And just a random side note, there is the whole StarCraft II Brood War mod that's been out there. Some people have touched on that a little bit. This event, the announcement of this event reminded me of that, and I've been playing that a little bit in my custom games, and it is still super fun. So I'll say if this goes well, we might be able to see some experimentation with some of those custom games that bring in that StarCraft Brood War unit-based.
I would really love to see a tournament on StarCraft II Brood War. We had
So would I.
We had a bunch of people say that they'd like to do that, and I think that once that gets to a point when we're more comfortable with it, we'll give it a shot because it seems really cool.
I'm very excited. Matt, when's it going to happen? How much money is at stake, and why should we all tune in to the Team Liquid Legacy Star League?
Well, the first broadcast of the tournament itself is in February. The qualifiers start this weekend. By the time this airs, I guess 2 will have been played. And then there's 3 weeks of qualifiers, and then there's the tournament. The first one is for $500. The 2 after that are also for $500, and then the final one will be for $2,000. I mean, it's the biggest thing Team Liquid has done since TSL 2, so it's pretty important overall. I think it should be pretty good for the foreign Brood War community. Hopefully it'll bring some people back, see some people play some games that they haven't played in a while, maybe.
Well, I can't wait, man. Is there any perhaps rumblings of seeing Noni come out and perhaps try to defend one of his old titles?
Man, I hope so. I don't know, though. I haven't asked him.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and good luck with the Team Liquid Legacy Star League and with all your future endeavors over at Team Liquid.
Thank you. You too.
See you later, Matt. Hi, everyone. I'm super hyped to follow the Legacy Star League. I was watching a couple of the games earlier today. It was really fun to watch some Brood War. Brought back some nostalgia. The games are great. It's a different experience. But I have that Brood War background. I kind of grew up on that stuff, cheering for those guys. I want to know what you guys have to think, Dan. What are your takes on the Legacy Star League? Are you going to watch it? Are you excited for it?
I have watched it, actually. I spent some time watching it. You know, actually, Andre was watching it. I was looking over his shoulder, too. The thing about the Team Liquid Legacy Star League is that I know Team Liquid will do a great job. TSL 3, or actually even all their TSLs have been great. But one thing that we've seen in TSL 4 that's really different from TSL 3 was that even if you do everything right, production-wise, you set up the stream, it's organized, there's no drop in any kind of communication and logistics. If you don't have good players, you don't have good games, you don't have good storylines that you can really sell to people, then people won't watch. TSL 4 was great in terms of everything, but they had people that were unknown at the time, like Life. Who was he? But then he came on to win GSL and MLG and the Blizzard Cup, and everyone would later jump to the bandwagon. But they didn't realize that TSL 4 was one of the platforms which Life got confidence to get his skills up. This is going to really challenge the Legacy Star League. Will they be able to get the players in good games to come out? I watched with Andre, and I'm like, well, you know, these games don't really look that great. I saw a Reaver die to a sunken colony. Like, that's stuff that shouldn't happen in the finals of the qualifier. That never happens, period, in Brood War. And I'm not trying to brag on the players. I'm saying if they can up the quality, up the story, because I know Sale and Elegant are casting people who aren't necessarily the biggest in StarCraft 2 in terms of fan base. I think they can do the best job in the world, but no one will watch. I really hope people tune in because I like watching Brood War. It's really entertaining, but I really don't know if the StarCraft 2 fan base will follow.
And people don't know that that Reaver dying to that sunken colony might have been the wacky AI that you can expect, and you kind of, as a Brood War fan, you kind of assume that. But then now when we have StarCraft 2, it's pristine, it's nice, it's like, well, why is it even like that? That's silly, right? Like, why, if I attack something, it doesn't attack at max range. A Dragoon, which is the Stalker, I would say, in StarCraft 1, if it attacks a bunker and you have the range upgrade, it doesn't always attack at the optimal range. It attacks like a little bit in sometimes, and then Marines start attacking. And you're like, why are you doing that? Why are you so dumb? Just attack the max range.
I should have named Kitty Dragoon.
So tough, man. As a dead zealot, that
but
plays
you know
in
what?
the mechanics. So
I personally love StarCraft. It was awesome to see, like, oh, that siege tank is in range, but he's like a screen and a half away from those units. And it was really cool, really nostalgic to see all the different things, vultures, laying mines, doing a lot of damage, raiding, all the things that I missed and loved about that game. But when it came down to it, I couldn't watch it for a long time. And I realized that, and it's really, really sad to me because I love this game, but StarCraft 2, I think they spoiled me a little bit.
I had the exact same experience. I was incredibly hyped for this, but this was the first time I've gone back and I've watched Brood War. And I was like, man, this is great, this is fun, this is cool. 15 minutes later, I'm like, oh?
And we're diehard StarCraft fans. And think of it this way, Team Liquid increased tenfold when StarCraft 2 came out. Not saying that they're all only StarCraft 2 fans, but if we kind of look at it like that, that means like around 9% of all the people on Team Liquid were watching Brood War beforehand.
Yeah.
Some, went from StarCraft II back to StarCraft Brood War, but we're saying not a lot of people.
Very, very small.
So if you say like 10% of all streamers currently watching StarCraft 2 are going to watch StarCraft 1, we're not really talking about a lot of people.
I'll say this too. I'm still going to follow this thing. I'm still going to be watching it, and I would sure as hell watch all of the finals. That's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
This as I hold up one finger. This TL event is marketed to the Brood War people on Team Liquid. That's first and foremost.
And
A.
C.
But number
B.
C.
But number 2. This got me really interested in the StarCraft II Brood War UMS. And there have been some tournaments hosted on that, and those are fantastic. Fun to watch. A lot of the same mechanics, some new mechanics. It's Brood War with a shiny new coat of paint, unlimited unit selection, and some more intuitive controls. Yeah. That is really cool to me.
I think.
Just to talk a little bit more about TSL, I kind of agree with what Dan said. It depends a lot, I think, on what is the play pool going to be, and actually I don't really know. But I have no former Brood War experience ever. The only Brood War story that I ever had was ending up in a Korea PC bang at 6 a.m. playing against a random drunk French guy with a couple of girls watching, and I beat him because I proxied Gate Zealot, because the night before I played 3 games of Brood War with Artosis, Stasis, and Apollo, and they told me that I had to play Protoss. That's like the only Brood War experience I ever had. If you give me like a Brood War tournament...
It's a legendary story, by the way.
Man, I killed that guy. You should see my Zealot micro.
And then I took both the girls home and we partied until midnight the next day.
Good story.
Not sure if that's the ending, but no. What I want to say is like it really depends a lot on who's playing for me. I would love to watch, for instance, Idra, Red, Cloud, Noni play some Brood War games, even though I really don't know the game well at all. Everything I would know is that what I learned in StarCraft 2. But if you show games like between total no-names, for me at least, or even guys that I haven't really interacted with a lot, or even for the general audience, like probably a game between, I'm just saying something, I might be completely wrong, but between Core and Infernal, that would probably still be a really good Brood War game.
Yeah.
I don't think that many people would watch it, but if you put Idra against Cloud or something in Brood War, I think a lot of people would watch it. So I really think it depends a lot on who's playing.
A lot of people will watch it for the beginning, but they won't stay through to the end.
I mean, it's cool to see it, but like you guys, I grew up playing StarCraft and Brood War. It was a lot of fun. I competed in small little lands in Seattle, and it was pretty much all-nighters where we would play big game hunters and see who can make the most carriers. Man, it was a lot of fun. and honestly, I don't think I played I don't think I played any other game more than Brood War growing up as a teenager. But I said goodbye to Brood War. I said goodbye when they had the final tournament in South Korea where Jongbi, he was looking at the camera. He had his fist up at the camera. He was smiling, and everybody knew that it was over, that we were saying goodbye. And I teared up. Everybody else that was watching, I'm sure, was emotional. I had spent so much time watching Brood War, and especially the talent that had organized this and were pioneers in South Korea making this happen. So I've said goodbye to Brood War. It's too early for nostalgia. I'm focused on StarCraft II. I'm focused on the storylines of what's happening to the players here and the pioneers that are trying to make it a success over in the West and even in Korea. I wish Team Liquid the best of luck. I think it is cool to see it for a little bit, but I'm not going to follow it.
It's tough. Last but not least, I also want to say I really don't think that they're expecting like massive numbers or whatever. And I really think at the end of the day, they just feel whatever people they can make happy with this, that's a win, Like even if it's like a handful of people,
it's
if they really want to watch Brood
War fans.
Yeah, and there's really nothing wrong with that, man. Like let them share their passion. If I'm gonna watch it, I'm really not sure. I'm definitely gonna check it out, but I'm not sure how much I will really watch it. But I really don't think they care if I would watch it or not, or if we would watch it or not. As long as we're gonna make that portion of the Team Liquid fans happy, as them having a good time, I still think it's a great. I think it's a great project. Why not? Like that's all I.
As long as it doesn't distract from what's going on in StarCraft 2. We had oversaturation issues a lot last year, but it's not going to. I trust Team Liquid it's not going to.
There's no reason to be pessimistic on this situation. No, it's a passion project.
Yeah.
Just like how an investment banker would say, we're doing a passion project right now. There's no reason for us to ruin their parade.
Venture capital in esports.
And we can all agree on that.
It's not like we have a shortage of esports event or in StarCraft 2 events. Like I can't even keep up with all the StarCraft 2 that we got going on right now.
I still want to know if you guys want to watch the Legacy Star League, and Lauren Elise wants to know too. Every time I turn, I pull out my earbud. That's really kind of annoying. Lauren Elise?
I wasn't positioned so far back. You wouldn't have to turn your head quite so far.
Longer power cord.
If she was put in that corner over there,
I could just
That
I
would
could just
work
look at her.
beautifully.
Maybe I could just go into the bathroom and we could just set up like a little webcam and we just communicate that way.
Angles.
Morgan, set it up.
All right. People are already
Today I learned
voting. I
Lauren wants to
haven't
work
even
in the
asked you guys the question. But this is the last question of the evening. You have 3 minutes to voice your opinion. Will Team Liquid's Brood War League be a success? A for yes, B for no. Ready, set, go. I'm a poet and I know it. This
You
is the
actually are a
pulse.
poet.
We'll be right back.
You know, honestly, are we cutting yet? Hang on,
No,
just one
hold
second. I want to say, just in fairness, I think that question's a little bit unfair.
It's
already
already
a
an
success.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
But I'm really
Yes.
curious to see if people are hyped up to watch it. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.